All right. So got the Zoom going. Oh, y'all can see me up on the screen. That's weird. Um, so we are going to start our kind of a post-college budget. So you'll see in the questionnaire, I'm having y'all think about what do you want to, what job do you want to do after college? And I know that can be a long way and it may change, right? Because you are just in high school. You may not figure out what you want to major in yet. People make that determination even later on in school, in college, when they're exposed to different subjects and things that pique their interest. That's fine if it changes. This is just kind of a going through thought experiment process. This is not set in stone, right? You're not dotting on or signing on, I am going to be a marine biologist. And that's that. Um, so even if you don't know, kind of pick something that you think you may be interested in. All right. Um, and so we'll walk through that bit and kind of go through the rest of the budget. So let me share the screen so we can see what we're dealing with. Okay, so here's our new questionnaire. What do you want to do when you enter the workforce? Okay, this is what you're going to be put in for your occupation. So if you come over to the new uh, budget sheet, again, you'll put in your name. Um, maybe I do need to change the setting on here real quick. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Each student will get a copy. Yeah, okay. Each student will get a copy, but when you turn it in, you'll click the assignment and you'll see area in the upper right section of the assignment that you can add a file. You all see that? If you go to the assignment on Google Classroom, you should see in the upper right section a area where you can attach a file. Yeah. Square. Let's see.
Oh, what is on it, sorry? I pressed, I don't know what I pressed. So where does it go?
Right over here. Oh, it's already there. If you just click the assignment. Okay, there we go. So you should be able to edit it. Perfect. Perfect. Great. There. Yeah. Okay. So let's take a look at this. Open up a lot of tabs. I can't see.
For glassware, how do you?
Okay. So when you figure out what your job is going to be, that's what you'll put here in your occupation. And the next thing up is figuring out, okay, how much does that job make? How much can I expect to earn from that job? Let me adjust this, so that's getting tiresome. Okay. But first, before you do the how much does it make, you have to figure out what city you want to live in. Because even among occupations, even among the same occupation, depending on what city you live in, that's going to determine your salary. Um, in some cities, cost of living is much higher than other cities. Would you all agree with that statement? So the same job in one city that has a higher cost of living is going to have to pay a higher salary than that same job in a city that has a low cost of living. Okay, so that's where we need to figure out first, what city would you like to live and work in? And that's just kind of personal preference. It can change. Just put the city and the state. Okay. Once you've done that, I've added a couple different websites for you to go to. Some of them, I'm not sure if they'll be blocked, or that may happen. So there's a couple different ones that you can try to figure out what your average starting salary is going to be with that job. Okay. And so I'll just click, let's do Indeed.
I'm on Indeed right now, but actually, how does that work?
Okay, Indeed. So that's fine. All right. Give me a job.
Firefighter.
Firefighter. Give me a city.
Nashville.
Actually, oh, not find job, sorry. Find salary. You click the find salary button
Oh.
up here. Okay. So firefighter. Okay. And where? You said Nashville, Tennessee. How much does a firefighter make in Nashville, Tennessee? Estimated base salary, which is good because your starting salary, it's going to be your base, $46,086 per year. Okay.
I don't see fine salary as an option.
I'm sorry?
I don't see fine salary as an option.
If you go up to the very, very top, where the Indeed logo is, there's the Find Jobs tab. Come. Ew, that's because it's something on it is being blocked on your end. Let me. Like if you scroll all the way down, you'll see salaries. And there you go. Okay. So that would be using Indeed. If you use PayScale. Okay, let's see. How should I pay? No, that's pay report. I've never used PayScale before, so it's kind of like an exploring type deal. Want salary information, just exploring. Individual. We'll do firefighter again. Zero years, and let's do Nashville, Tennessee, keeping all things the same, see what we come up with. Employed full time. Why are you asking me this stuff? None of that's required. Okay, we're gonna go with a bachelor's degree. I don't want to do all of that. Come on, just give me this. Just give me the average. Oh, I gotta sign up. Okay, pay scale may be a little bit more difficult for y'all to use because you have to sign up. Glassdoor should be free to check out. Okay. ZipRecruiter may also work. I think in the past we've mainly dealt with Indeed. So that one we know works. If you have a chance to explore these others, go ahead. But I think Indeed is the best option to give a base salary. Okay. Once you have done that, so you'll put your salary here, you put your city here, then you come down, I ask what type of car do you plan on driving? Could be the same car that you have in college, right? Could be something new, maybe a graduation present. Think about kind of, if it is a graduation present, you won't have to worry about purchasing it. But now that you're working, chances are you're going to have to pay for insurance, gas, these other things, right? Maintenance. That's on you now. So keep that in mind. Okay. Taxes next. Now that we have our start average salary, now that you're in the big world, you got to pay taxes. Okay. So real quick, can someone check this smart asset button? I know in the past we've had trouble accessing it on the school network. Let me know if y'all have trouble.
On the car part, can we put the type of car or the price?
Type of car,
Okay.
right? And on the car part, type of car, do you plan on already having it, Heaven?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you plan on already having it, you don't really need to worry about the price because it's already been paid for.
No, but I'm saying, because part of my college experience is my residency, and I get paid for that stuff. I already have stuff.
Are you doing like work right after?
Right after graduating 4 years.
Oh,
But-
there's 4 years?
Well, bachelor's,
Okay.
That's it? Okay.
right? Well, unless, what are y'all planning on doing?
OBGYN.
Okay, so you will have residency afterward or during that? Um,
I'm doing like after residency.
Right. Who's paying for your rent and things like that? Will that be on you?
That's gonna be the military because I'm gonna leave Florida and come back to Baylor and I get to go to college.
Okay, but are you staying in the dorms there, or is that just covering tuition?
It's supposed to cover everything, dorm, tuition, books.
Okay, do graduate, because you'd be considered a graduate student, right? Do they have graduate student dorms? Check on that, right? Because if they don't have graduate student dorms, you're gonna have to rent an apartment.
This counts as, so I'm doing residency and not.
Yeah, that would be fine. Residents, because you're part of the workforce and you do get paid, and guess what? You'll have to file taxes on that.
So would I choose OBGYN nurse instead of off the actual position?
Yeah,
Okay.
if that's the residency title, go with that. Okay. Has anyone checked the smart assets link?
It's like a weird site.
Okay, so it doesn't look like this. Well, I haven't pulled it up yet. You can't say yes or no.
No, I know it doesn't look
No,
like
it
this.
doesn't.
Doesn't look like that. Okay. So what we will do, once you have your starting salary, let me know and I will run the tax calculation for you. Okay.
Mine was given like a average, between two numbers, but just kind of find the median.
Well, if it's your base salary, remember when it comes to estimating our income, pick our lower one. We underestimate our income, we overestimate our expenses, and then we're not stressing about our budget because we either have, chances are we'll have more money at the end of our budget that can just go into savings. Okay. All right. So once you do the tax, hit next. Oh, it's telling me. Test. Okay, make sure you click the next button because then we go into living expenses. Okay, once you have your salary, you know what city and state you're going to be working in, or estimation. Next, we're going to estimate your living expenses. Okay. So I gave you two websites to look at, either apartments.com or Zillow. I'm sure y'all have seen ads for both of them, right? It's a place that you can figure out what apartment or search for availability apartments. Now, these are going to change, obviously, right? We're looking at several years into the future. An apartment that's available today may not be available tomorrow. The same goes, an apartment that's unavailable today may be available tomorrow. So don't worry about availability of the apartment. Just go to one of these websites, click on apartments.com.
How old will we kind of be in this scenario?
Well, what are you planning on majoring in?
I just put chemical engineering.
Chemical engineer. So that's a 4-year degree, right?
Yeah.
Are you going to get your master's?
Oh, probably I should.
Okay, so that's like adding, I think, a master's.
Probably
Look up how long is a master's in chemical engineering.
I'll be 25.
I don't think engineers go past masters. I mean, you can, but not typically. Of course, I got that information from the Big Bang Theory, so could be wrong.
It says 1 to 2 years.
Okay.
So I'll put 2.
2 years. So you're looking at 6 years of total college.
So the 24.
24, 23 or 24. Yeah.
Can I still be on my parents' medical?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But your employer may offer a better medical plan too. Okay. But you have your job, your employer could cover that, or you could still be on your parents. It's nice, isn't it?
I'm just gonna write it out.
Yeah. Yeah. It works out well. And the reason they increased it to 26 during the Great Recession, what do you think people who lost their job ended up doing? Going back to school. And so people who were graduating at the time also were going back to school. And so it kind of reflected the new paradigm in which people weren't necessarily entering the job force at 23. They were getting master's degrees and exiting college at 25, 26. All right. And it also helps the medical profession, because if you're going to medical school, is that a 4-year program?
Yeah.
Medical school. So you have your bachelor's first, right? And then you go to medical school on top of that.
And then you go to residency.
And then you go to residency. But
And then you can do a fellowship.
right. But at the end of it, you're you're over 26 years old. So they didn't want doctors necessarily being uninsured, because how ironic is that? A doctor with no health insurance. So increasing it to 26 allows older students to stay on their parents' health insurance. Yes.
Question, so when we find out the tax, the times we times of our yearly income,
I'm sorry, say that again?
when we find out how much we want to be taxed, we times it.
No. So when you have your salary, send it to me. Let me know. I'll run the taxes for you.
I already have it.
The salary? Okay. Well, let's run through this. Okay. So what's your salary?
64,399.
64,399. Okay. What city are you going to work in?
Miami, Florida. I was in Tallahassee or like Orlando, but they don't pay enough for residency.
Oh, you got to be careful about Florida. Did y'all see the latest or one of the latest stories to come out of Florida?
Hurricane?
No, a road rage incident that went really, really weird. So this truck driven by a Florida man brake checked this Nissan car. Nissan responded by bumping the bumper of the truck and then speeding off around. The driver of the truck pulls out his gun while driving on the freeway.
That can happen anywhere.
No, wait. And he shoots it through his windshield at the Nissan.
That's Florida over. That can happen
Okay,
anywhere.
he has a no.
No.
It's Florida. Okay, he has a passenger, and this guy also he has a dash cam. Okay, what are you doing? right?
Other states
'Cause-
just shoot out the window.
Yeah, not through the windshield.
Right? Well, maybe he was right-handed, right? So that's,
And you can have it
um,
anywhere.
no.
Oh, it's
Okay,
Florida
he-
exclusive.
Because Heaven, he also has a dash cam that has him in view as well as the car in view. So all of this is being recorded and he's shooting through. You can see the passenger like huddle over because glass from the windshield is flying everywhere while driving at 65. And the cherry on top of this nice Florida Sunday, the driver said that he was acting in self-defense. And as the last time I saw, no criminal charges have been filed against this driver. Yeah. Okay, so be careful in Florida. All right. Your income tax or plus FICA, which do y'all know what FICA is?
Talk about that. Yeah.
Okay, FICA is your payroll taxes, your Social Security and Medicare. So every time you get a paycheck, money's already withdrawn from that paycheck to go to Social Security and Medicare. At the same time, money's also withdrawn from that paycheck to withhold for your income taxes. Okay, so when people get a refund from their taxes, all that means is that more money was withdrawn or was withheld from their paycheck than should have been throughout the year. And so the government's giving it back to you. That's all a refund is, right? So you really don't want to have a large refund. You want to have a small refund. But Heaven, your income taxes plus FICA are $12,269.
I don't even make that much a month.
Huh?
I don't even make that much a
No,
month.
no, this is your annual.
Oh, let's say,
No, this is your annual. So if you look at your sheet here,
so we're 12,000.
okay, your salary, you'll put 64, right?
3,439.
Yeah, 64,399 here. Your taxes, you'll put 12,269,
Whoa.
okay? And then do you notice that your disposable income
We're
changes?
down at 52. It's so nasty.
But do you also notice, we can't all pay $750 in taxes.
I know,
Right.
I'm paying, I'm just saying,
Okay.
like, the
But,
residency.
Your disposable income per month, do you notice that it takes your disposable income divided by 12?
Yeah, so 4,000.
Yeah, so that will be your monthly take-home pay. Okay, so that's the amount of money that you have to work with for this budget.
I think the residency's paying higher.
Because if-
They just overwork.
They do, because hospitals also have to pay specialist doctors, which when my uncle was the CEO of Seton Hospitals, one of the things he talked about was having to deal with these doctors that wanted specialists that wanted to be paid 7 figures a year. And as CEO, he's trying to manage because that's a 7-figure salary is a cost to the hospital. So he's trying to manage the costs and keep the costs low, because if hospital costs go up, guess what goes up for us? No, healthcare costs. And so why can't residencies make more?
It's also because they're kind of students and they're still learning.
They are, but just from a practical standpoint, it's because some hospitals are paying 7-figure salaries to doctors and administrators. Right. My uncle was making like several million as a CEO there, right? So healthcare costs,
For the
yeah.
car, do we also kind of put its cost of how much it costs? Because I'm just gonna buy a used car at CarMax.
Okay, if you're gonna buy a used car at CarMax, don't the cost, like on this sheet right here, you wouldn't necessarily put the costs at this point. Put the type of car. Your cost, are you gonna pay cash for it, or are you going to, you're gonna lease it? Do they do leases at CarMax? Or do they do financing? I don't think they do leases. I think they'll finance it, which means you'll take a loan.
Because the one I'm looking at is only 60,000.
Uh-huh. It'll be a loan, and you'll put that in your loan payments down here. Okay, and I may adjust this a little bit to space out the loan payments, because what's another thing that you may have when you graduate and start working?
Yeah.
What type? Student loans, and you'll have to start paying that back. Okay.
Yeah, then it's starting to need the down payment now.
Yeah. Okay. So we were talking about apartments before we got distracted on the Florida man story. But that's a fun story, isn't it? Okay, so let's say having that, well, someone give me a city. Any city.
Los Angeles.
I was gonna say New York.
For the most
Most
expensive
expensive
one.
cities.
Yeah, let's do New York. I know New York better. No, I know the different parts, the different boroughs of New York better than I know Los Angeles.
And like you could rent like a studio apartment and it could have like literal work in the ground. It's like $5,000 a month, please.
Okay. So let's see. We're going to, what type of bedroom do we want? A one bed or a studio or two bed?
For New York.
The one
New York.
in,
Studio.
Friends, the one they have.
No, we're not doing the one. We're going to do studio. Okay. Apartments. No. Okay. Real quick, one of the things that you'll notice, okay, so if you're doing a search and you see utilities included, that means that your electric, your gas, your water, it's included in the price. It's not really, don't think of it as being covered, because you're paying for it, but they've packaged it all up and saying this is what you're paying. It is nice to know. Yeah, it is more convenient, and you can plan around it, because typically utilities will fluctuate if they're not included. Okay. Okay, let's just see what we have here. I'm going to sort by rent. Let's go low to high. Okay, hey, 14th Street.
I don't know. That's Spider-Man.
It's in the East Village.
Is that expensive?
Well, it's a nicer part. Let's see if we can get a map.
I found a cute penthouse for like 2005.
Oh, only. Okay, so we're on Manhattan Island. Okay, Central Park is up here, north of where we are. There's Central Park. So we're location-wise, that's a pretty desirable location. Would y'all agree? Okay, let's see what we get for $995 per month.
Is that a lot for this kind of place?
That's it. Okay, with this apartment, you get a bunk bed. So you put your bed up here.
Oh, that's what that is.
That's what that is, yes. Okay, let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. Hey, you have a TV hookup right up here. Okay, you have a desk or a couch area underneath.
Ew.
And your mini fridge, a microwave, and I think that's a sink. And if you notice right here, what do you think that is?
I can't even see.
It looks to me like that's the door latch.
The what?
The door latch.
So what?
which means we are standing.
In a closet.
No. Well, we're standing at the entrance to this apartment.
Oh.
Hey, it's hardwood though. Hardwood floors. That's awesome, huh?
You thought LA would be bad.
Huh?
Stuff in her stove or oven?
No, no, you have your microwave oven. Leo, hey, and remember a couple days ago, Leo was like, I'm gonna live in a studio. And now he sees a studio. Huh?
I'm changing where I want to live. I don't get paid enough for the lifestyle I want. I'm changing where I want to live.
Okay, that's fine. You can change it, right? But and the purpose of this exercise is to kind of explore, manage your expectations. Okay, explore what's out there. Now, here's one of the big things that people have to get to overcome when they start off. Kind of realize that, you know what, as a student living with your parents, your lifestyle is pretty good, right? You have cable internet, or your cable at home, you have internet, you have your own room, possibly, right? Then when you get out into the workforce, now you're responsible for that. And what gets a lot of young adults in trouble is trying to maintain that lifestyle when it's all on them. The benefit that your parents have is that they have years of work experience in which they've been able to increase their salary over that time, and they can afford those perks. And so you've kind of grown up with the benefit of their years of work. Now that you're starting off, it's kind of like starting over in a video game. You have to build it up yourself. You know, $100 a month for internet at home, you may have to go to a lower speed, make some sacrifices. Cable, you may say, you know what, I'm gonna have to live without cable because I can't afford it right now.
Look, there are pirated movies.
Without breaking the law, Leo. Okay. So you may have to make some adjustments on your own. And the trouble that you can get into is trying to maintain your parents' lifestyle without having your parents' salary. And that's just going to throw you into debt. And then you won't be able to get out. Yes, Leo.
Can you calculate the amount of tax code?
Okay, Leo,
76,000.
where?
Houston. Well, Houston is space.
They don't necessarily have chemical engineering infrastructure in space just yet. Okay, 15,790, or sorry, 709. That's not bad.
But when Elon Musk asked people who wants to go to space, like the first one to sign
Okay, you wrote that down?
Yeah.
Okay, Evan. Okay, Talia. 68,000 just on the dot?
No, it's 68.
Where? Oh, there it was. 13,496.
Taxes.
Okay, Evan.
Okay, 80,157.
80,187?
157
157. Where?
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta. City of Bahia.
Okay, we go.
16,941. Okay. So let's see what other apartments in New York. Okay. But that apartment was 200 square feet. That's smaller than this room. That apartment for $1,000 was 200 square feet. Okay. Here's one, 1,200. Hey, brick. It won't let me click on the picture. That bad. Well, you get about the same.
The couch is right next to
Your desk. So you got the desk here, couch here, a little futon here, your mini fridge. Hey, this one does have a stove. Little stove here. Maybe you have to hook up propane to it. And a small sink. No dishwasher.
Where do you clean that kind of stuff?
Where do you clean what type of stuff?
Stuff without a dishwasher.
By hand. No,
In your sink.
you clean it by hand. Like how they used to do it before the dishwasher was invented. Okay. Where do you put your dishes? Right here.
What's that thing above it?
This or this?
That.
This is storage. That's like your closet.
What about the bathroom? Does it come with a bath?
Ooh, that was a good point. Where was the bathroom in the other studio?
Yeah. That's what I-
Oh my-
It's probably communal bathroom in the hallway or something.
That would be crazy for, I'm paying $1,000 a month for a community bathroom.
Mr. Perry, what are we doing for utilities?
Okay. Utilities, if they're not included, I want you to look up the average utility.
How would you know that I'm included in that?
Look, okay, let me zoom out.
So I found my place on Zillow. Is where it even has a bathroom.
Okay, you're gonna scroll down. Let's see, you're gonna read through some of these. Could be under amenities. Hey, in this apartment here, cats and dogs are allowed.
That's what I put in.
I don't know where you would put them, but they're allowed
You'll be in bed.
all day long.
I guess I don't like animals like that enough to have them in bed.
It's gonna be hard, you know.
Okay, let's see, scrolling through.
You can't go anywhere.
Okay, if it does not say, like this place does not say if utilities are included. If it does not say, what do you think we should assume? Included or not? Do you think we should assume that utilities are included or that they're not included? Not. Okay, so we're gonna say no. If you can't find it, assume no utilities, and then you have to look up the average utility bill for a one-bedroom apartment in Atlanta, Georgia.
It says baths and features comes with heating, central air.
Okay, that doesn't necessarily mean utilities are included. It just means that, hey, we do have central air. We have air conditioning.
So it's
But-
utilities in Atlanta?
Huh? Yeah, look up average utility bill for I'm assuming that's a one-bedroom apartment in Atlanta. Okay. So once you figure out what type of apartment and once you find and how much the rent is, figure out if it includes utilities, and if it doesn't, look up the average. Okay. And here I put some little notes here. Beware, just because it says high-speed internet available does not mean the apartment comes with high-speed internet. Yeah, all that means is that we have the availability to hook you up with it, but you still have to pay for it. And chances are you don't have a choice of which provider, because a single internet provider has contracted with the apartment complex to provide internet to the units.
Okay, I know we don't really.
No, you'd have to find, or you would use Xfinity as unless you find a more accurate, use Xfinity as a default.
So it's the internet bill?
Xfinity internet. Well, if you go to Xfinity's website, you can look at the plans. All right, so if I were to go to Xfinity.com,
$20 per month.
oh no, you're gonna look at more than that.
Oh, that's only for 25 Mbps. We go up to $300 per month, or 2,000 Mbps.
Okay. Oops, no, I was on the right thing. Okay, and think about, so if you come here, how many devices connect to your network at a time? Think of your phone, your computer, tablet, you know, if you have more than a couple devices, TV, right? You're gonna have your TV hooked up to it. So you don't, how frustrating is it for there to be lag on your internet? Do y'all find that frustrating? Yeah, when you get that little buffering circle during Netflix, you're just like, why, right? So you may want to go more internet than you think, or more speed than you think. If you like gaming, you're gonna want more, right? But let's just go kind of 1 through 5. I'm gonna do select all that apply. Web browsing, yes. TV, movies, yes. Online gaming, yes. Sharing large files, connecting, smart home. So even with 1 to 5 devices, if I want to do all of that, saying 200 megabytes, $50 a month, plus taxes. But it's actually offers starting at 50. So let's see what offers there are. And sharing large files, I would think in today's age is kind of a must, because what if you're working from home? You want to be able to access, remote access your desktop at work. That's going to require good speed.
That New York home, the ugly one we looked at, how many square feet was it?
200.
200, yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Chris, we just put $50.
Well, let's see. Okay, we don't want 100. We want 200.
Why can't I find a cheap house?
Okay, so $70. Yeah, it's 49. It's $50 if you do a 12-month agreement, but that requires you to stay in that place for 12 months. Even if you don't, like, you're kind of locked in, right? What if a natural disaster comes in, or there's flooding that happens and your apartment's damaged during that year? You're still on the hook for paying 12 months worth of service. Now, Xfinity may work with you and transfer that service over to somewhere else, but what if you move to a place that they don't do business? That's problematic, right? So I would go with $70 a month.
One bed, 650.
So for gas, we just look at how much gas costs the car.
So think of, okay, you're staying in, what type of car do you have?
The car I want, see, I'm not, the car I have now to get the similar, not the same car I'm gonna have then.
Okay, well, think about what car you're gonna get,
A truck.
and then you're gonna look at true cost to own. Okay, so if you Google true cost of ownership, should go to Edmunds.com, cost of car ownership, 5-year cost. Put in the zip code, so you're gonna have to look up the zip code for Atlanta. And then put in the type of truck. What type of truck are you gonna get? Chevy Silverado.
It's different, is it supposed to be?
Yeah, just pick one. And I'm gonna assume that you want a crew cab, not a regular cab or a double cab. Okay, and if it doesn't have the year, because like New Year's, the data is not out yet, just adjust it for a previous year. It'll give you an estimation. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. I'm just gonna do 2017 because that probably has.
I chose 2020.
Oh, they're not gonna have the information for 2020.
Okay.
It's too new. Okay, So do a previous year, like here's the 2017 one, give you an estimation.
Oh, that one?
Fuel per year looks about 50, I'd probably say $1,700 per year.
So divide that by 12.
Divide that by 12. So 1,700 divided by 12, you're looking at about $150 a month. And this is where you should also do for maintenance. Because if you see maintenance up here, kind of estimate out the maintenance and estimate out the insurance as well.